Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legion Reacts episode number 37. Now, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be reacting to the fact that Disney seems to be coming back full circle to Johnny Depp after some more truths have come out about the situation between him and Amber Heard. Now, this is an unpopular topic, but you know what? I am a Disney shareholder, and I'm an avid supporter and lover of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I have enjoyed every single movie, some more than the others. 1, 2, and 3, and 5, in my opinion, are gems. 4 is kind of a standalone, like maybe filler in between. On Stranger Tides, it was called. But what the beauty about 5 is the fact that they brought back Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom was it was a cameo appearance, and same with Keira Knightley. But the thing is, though, is that it pulled back in for one final movie. Like going where the original cast was going to be there. All of them. Johnny Depp is phenomenal. He is Captain Jack Sparrow. But you know what? Like going, he is a great counterweight to Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley is Will Turner. And, as Elizabeth Swann. Like going, we need that balance. Like going, it's the balance that makes the good movies. And seeing Elizabeth run down the hill to meet Will at the end of number 5 was like, dude, I could have jumped out of my movie chair. I'm not even joking. Like going, we needed that. We wanted that. Keira Knightley said that she was done with the franchise, but you know what? God bless her. Nostalgia probably got her heart. And, even Orlando Bloom. Nostalgia probably got him to play like, hey, it's been long enough. Like, why not? Like, going their roles that really defined who our careers. And God bless America. I want Pirates of the Caribbean 6, Disney. I'm a Disney shareholder. That means something. I get a vote on crap. That's true. I get a vote on crap. I really do. Who did that? Who thought that was a good idea? Come on, that's funny. No? Pipers? Yeah. Come here. I'm kind of hoping the microphone's picking you up. Oh, come here, buddy. Make your poppers. Can you say poppers? I hope the microphone was hearing you, because it's the cutest thing when he chirps. He sounds like a velociraptor or something like that doing that. Oh, no. Ow. He's got all his claws and it hurts. No, he sounds like a Dilophosaurus when he's done. He's like. Yeah, I hear you. Ow. I'm going to have holes in my body because of this cat. That's all right. He's my buddy. So we're going to watch this. Shout out to the Accordion, because I don't get a chance to break news stories. I just don't get a chance to do it. So one of these days, maybe when the channel is more self-sustained and I can actually step back from my government job and not take the overtime opportunities, and the channel supports itself, I can start breaking these stories on my own and doing my own version. Until then, I will continue to give Jeremy and the Accordion a shout out. I'm a big fan of his channel. I'm a big fan of Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers, because I've reviewed their videos before. So, one YouTuber to the others for doing the legwork, and I can try to react to that and kind of get messages out about Disney and Star Wars and Marvel. And I greatly appreciate them. I always tag them in this. It's not something I'm trying to hide from. So I want them to get the credit. Like going, if you like my videos, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Like going, and if you like their videos that I'm reacting to, go to their channel. Give them a like, give them a subscribe, a comment. Like going, it puts that algorithm out there on YouTube. So I always want to put that out there. I'm grateful for what they do, because they're helping me to break news that I hate to say it, I don't have time to do, because I am a federal civil servant, and God bless it, that takes up a lot of time. So let's. What you doing, buddy? Yeah. Being very talkative right now. Come here. Okay, well, you go on to the couch. That's fine. Here we go.
Hey, fish face. Do something. Hey, Scungili.
I got a jar, dude. I got a jar, dude.
Got it.
Love that part.
Come to negotiate, eh? Have you, you slimy git? Look what I got.
Ooh, things are looking up. Things are
I got a jar,
super
dude.
spicy.
I got a jar, dude.
And, you know, before I get into this story, just remember that these videos always appear to get memory hold, and we know that these topics are, how do we say, yellow in color, if I was going to pick one.
Yeah, I know about that.
Regardless of all that, if you could, leave a like and a comment and consider sharing this video, because this is an active system to disincentivize people from covering things. And thankfully,
help out.
I have,
like, if you can, seriously,
a wonderful sponsor that lets me put their ad in just about any video I want. So this video is, of course, sponsored by Manscaped.
I mean, should I now? He's got his own crap for the. He's got his own thing for the you know. I'm not gonna put his advertisement on my video. I'm already promoting like what he does. So even though I greatly appreciate what he does,
rumors started circulating that Disney had come crawling back to Johnny Depp to come back to the Pirates of the Caribbean story.
Absolutely. And I want to say this, like, going, even though a lot of, there's a fair amount of people who are like going, why do we need another Pirates Caribbean movie? Like going, blah, blah, blah. In 2017, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, almost $800 million. And that's supposed to be dead? Like going, it's like, why do we care? $800 million? Guess what? Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom came back. You make the final movie, which is number 6, Pirates of the Caribbean 6, I guarantee $1 billion. $1 billion. You know why? Because Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom will be back. It'll be Captain Jack Sparrow, Will Turner, and Elizabeth Swann all together again for one last time. That's a beautiful story. That's a beautiful story. Finishing it the way it should have been. Beautiful story. Don't judge me.
Franchise. We all know why he was removed. It was due to lies of an ex and a concerted negative media smear campaign against the man. And now things may be being corrected, which is tough, because it's one of those situations where it's like, man, if I was in his shoes, I would just tell him to get bent. But also, he probably gets paid like $30 million just to star in the film. So I mean, it's really hard.
More
to
like
just,
$90 million.
Kind of tell someone to
seriously
walk the plank, so to speak.
What?
If we look at the earnings of the most recent Pirates of the Caribbean, which didn't even review very well, if we look at Dead Men Tell No Tales, it still did $800 million at the box office in spite of just a terrible critic reception. Now, maybe the critics were letting certain media smears kind of shift their opinion of the movie. But overall, with 130,000 ratings, fans still found the film to be pretty decent. And all things considered, what was that, the 5th film? Pretty decent showing. If you go back and you look at, At World's End from 2007, that made almost $1 billion. If you look at On Stranger Tides in 2011, that was a $1 billion franchise. So, in terms
On Stranger Tides was not that good. That's the worst one out of all of them.
Is even though the reviews, the critics don't seem to review it very well, it's a money printing machine. You can go to Dead Man's Chest, of course, or Dead Men Tell No Tales. That's $800 million. So it's definitely always made a ton of cash. If we go back to, even 2007.
I just got a notification for the video I just recently uploaded. Dude said, appreciate Trapstar saying nice video, keep it up. That's very kind. You know what? I have actually found that the YouTube community is actually very nice. Like going, all these people talk about like going, oh man, like people just come out and hate, like going, it's awful. I have gotten out of all the videos I've done, like on, and it's probably, I don't know, in the 50s range, 55 range. Like I've gotten like 1 or 2 down votes. 1 or 2 down votes. Everybody's very helpful. So thank you to all of you. Thank you. Y'all are the real champions out there. Like I'm being dead serious. Like y'all are the real champions. It's not me. I'm just one man with a computer, reacting to other content, maybe playing some content. Like going, it's all on you. You guys are the real champions. Like going, so thank you. Seriously, I'm being 100% serious. Back to the video, because God knows I want Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Disney. I'm yelling at them like they can hear me.
13 years ago, which is crazy to me, right? This movie did not review well with critics, but fans love it. The fandom around Pirates of the Caribbean, why do I got this yip in my head where I don't know how I want to say it.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
But the fans love it. Look at this. 2.7 million reviews.
Yeah.
2.7 million reviews. You will never see films on Rotten Tomatoes with that number of reviews these days. So
At World's End
obviously we know that
it was beautiful,
Depp
but it hurt
was
my heart.
removed. And there were a lot of rumors of him being replaced by none other than Zac Efron, which I don't think that you can replace Depp in this film franchise seamlessly. It would just be different. He is the face of the franchise.
Thank you.
Now, obviously, we know we got this covered as a site that is not to be trusted. However, it does talk
we
about
get this
the
covered.
fans
It's got it going on.
Disney
All right, guys,
to
come
bring
on.
him back. This is a month ago almost, but it's been pretty consistent. You have, petitions. The questions are they really effective? No, not really, because if they were super effective, then Brie Larson would have been replaced by a POC.
Which is stupid.
Person. It's just,
by the way,
it's not well. But after the 5th installment of Dead Men Tell No Tales disappointed at the box office, still made almost $1 billion.
Yeah, what?
It must be pointed out the franchise had become so universally popular. Yeah, here we go. That 800 million global total was viewed as underperformance. Pirates of the Caribbean went back to the drawing board, even though the series peaked creatively with the.
Hold up, how is $800 million underperforming? Is it because it was maybe the lowest of the franchise? It's also taking place after what On Stranger Tides, which came out in 2012. Like going, At World's End came out in 2007. On Stranger Tides, which was, it was decent enough. It was a filler movie. Came out in 2012. Like going, you're talking after that, which was not the best because it was lacking Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann. They were busy doing other things, which is fine. That's what actors do. 5 years after the fact, like going, and you kind of bring it all back into the fold. Like going, once it was revealed that Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley were going to be in the movie, which it was revealed very, very late. Like almost, I think it was like 2 weeks before the movie, that Keira Knightley was actually in it, is Elizabeth Swann, and that was done post-production. Like going, they had filmed the whole entire movie without her, and then all of a sudden she was like, hey, I got an opening. Like going, is there any way you can fit me into the movie? And boom, they fit her in the end. Like going, I researched the nuts out of this because at the time I was like, oh my God, they're all back. And the ending was like going, oh, if you can get the goosebumps going, the goose pimples. Oh, I had them because I saw the 6th movie and I was like going, oh, we're gonna be in store for a phenomenal, probably 3-hour end of the franchise movie. Like going, literally just bookending that. Like going, it'll be beautiful. We'll love it. Hyperbole. Just beautiful. So yeah, like, did it perform as well as all the other movies? Probably not quite, but $800 million, that's not a flop. If you want to watch a flop, go see the new Charlie's Angels, or I guess you get it on Redbox because it's not in theaters anymore. That's not me bashing on Charlie's Angels, because you know what, the ones from the 90s with Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu. God bless Lucy Liu. I love her to death. Like, I had a big crush on her when I was younger. That's a good movie. That's good. All right. It's all right. We're going to keep going.
Very first movie. And each of the subsequent sequels fared worse with critics. Disney's desire to monopolize the entire entertainment industry means that they were never going to let a $4.5 billion brand simply come to an end. Yeah, these brands don't let, they don't let franchises finish on their own terms. They just drag them along until it's finally over.
Okay, see,
now, of course, many speculated.
I respect what Jeremy says. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that, because even though At World's End was supposed to be the end, they brought on Stranger Tides, and it made a lot of money. However, it wasn't the best movie. I think it was probably, like I said, it was probably the worst of the franchise. Still not horrible, but it was just not. The story was lacking a lot more heart to it, in a sense. Johnny Depp was really the only solid, Johnny Depp and Barbossa were the only characters to actually hold the movie above water. Like, on the new, we'll say, Elizabeth and Will characters were decent, and I didn't hate them. They just weren't super. I think they needed more time to elaborate on that, and it could have been better. So they were going to, their whole entire plan was that after Dead Men Tell No Tales, that there was going to be one last movie, and that was it. They were going to bookend it, and that was it. They said there's one last movie. No, Siri, what the heck? Why is Siri? Dude, I swear to Moses, Siri just like automatically weirdly activates on words that I don't understand. It's not like, hey Siri, or Siri, can you do this? Like, going, I don't know. Freaks me out. Due to androids, man. We're all going to have Android. Detroit Become Human. We're all going to have androids one day. So they were going to bookend it, and they said this is the movie to end to finish it all. So, and I think we need that. I think we need Pirate 6 with the original cast, like, going it. If you got to take till 2023 to release it, put good marketing behind it, get the original cast back, market it appropriately, bring back that. Oh, Piper's is playing. Bring back the old, get a little new, finish it right. And you know what? You're going to have $1 billion at least. You might even have more. You might even have like $1.3 billion. Like, because parents who grew up watching that, like, because I'm in that age bracket now. People who watch the Curse of the Black Pearl are parents now in this day and age. They're going to rewatch the original movies, and they're gonna take their kids to see it, and you're gonna have like legacy. Like, just do it right, Disney, for the love of Moses.
Speculated that Depp was dropped during, obviously his bad PR, given the actor estimated to have earned $90 million from Dead Men Tell No Tales alone, which is a huge chunk of change, given that each of the last four Pirates movies cost a minimum of $225 million to produce. So they're obviously gigantic budget movies. So maybe they took this opportunity with the bad press around his name to say, hey, maybe the franchise can exist without him. In my mind, it can't.
Exactly.
But
thank you.
Over the weekend, articles started cropping up from various sources. Johnny, given a second chance as Jack Sparrow. It's been hard to watch Johnny Depp be canceled. The last Pirates film was a flop, and and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to avoid talking about some personal stuff. But all this might change. But now, see, when we look at where this rumor is coming from, guess where it's coming from?
We got this covered.
We got this covered.
No!
If you write anything on your computer,
Yeah.
I write pretty much all day, every day, and grammar.
You know, when I watch these on my phone on YouTube, they don't. Well, seriously, like when I watch these on my phone on YouTube, like when they don't ever play commercials. It's only when I like try to, which lends credence to one of these days. I'm gonna have the time to where the channel supports itself, and I can actually not with the overtime at my government job, and then it'll be a little less sloppy. But you know what? When we're first starting out, embrace the slop. It's more fun that way. And I like transparency on this channel. That's why I uploaded the Jurassic World Alive tournament, because it had some unpleasant language with, the Chuck word, and maybe, what the HE double hockey sticks is going, stuff like that, because that's a behind the scene, like going, I rarely get mad. But that's a behind the scenes look, like going, and I'm all about transparency. I'm all about being honest. And I'm gonna be honest, like going, I've had a couple beers on camera, like going, have I been absolutely, I'm like, no, like I've never been like that, like going, but it's probably been a couple of times where I'm like going, hey, I'm feeling decent, like going, yeah, all right, well, every adult's been there. I'm not driving, not operating heavy machinery, and I'm not saying anything stupid, like going, there's nothing that I wouldn't say sober that I wouldn't say if I've had a few, like going, it's just me. So yeah, like going, transparency, like going, I believe everybody should be like that. Be honest, be honest with who you are, be honest with those that you care about, like going, and be honest with the world, like going, if you like the Backstreet Boys, I want it that way, yeah, be honest. Okay. Is that too much? A little too much? No? Okay.
So I don't know. All of these articles
Manscaped
popped up, but it
it's
seems like here's even one on Daily Mail. Johnny Depp may be reprising his role as the beloved Captain Jack Sparrow for Disney's sixth installment of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Due to recent, quote, revelations made about him and the ex, Disney executives have allegedly been lobbying for the 56-year-old actor's return. Back in 2016, it was rumored that Disney purposely attempted to distance themselves from Depp when all the stuff came out, pictures and blah, blah, blah. So let's actually look at the original story. It's funny how this machine works, right? We got this covered. It's not necessarily a trustworthy source. Have they gotten things correct in the past? Yes. But most of what they say is unfounded. So let's actually look at the article and see if they provide any real evidence here. The argument could be made, okay, so Disney reportedly considering bringing Johnny Depp back for Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. The argument could be made that the world doesn't really need another Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Wrong.
The franchise has earned over $4.5 billion at the box office, and it rests in the hands of our pop culture overlords Disney. There was little chance that the Black Pearl being allowed to sail off into the sunset, and that's very true. The thing is, what I would hope is that if Disney does the right thing here, and to be very clear, bringing him back would be the right thing to do.
Thank you.
I would go support it. I would go pay to see this movie, because we all make mistakes. And look, they brought back the director for The Squad, right, after he was canceled in response to Roseanne Barr getting canceled. Roseanne should have been brought back. Her show without Roseanne Barr on it is an abomination. But nonetheless, the fifth installment, Dead Man Tells No Tales, may have been the lowest grossing entry since the original back in 2003, but $800 million global is hardly small change. And the Mouse House are keen to keep milking their swashbuckling cash cow for all it's worth. Chernobyl co-creator Craig Mazin is currently writing the script for the new film along Pirates veteran Ted Elliott, but little is known about the creative direction for the High Seas adventure, besides the desire to cast a female star in the lead. Zoinks.
Which is not
And
good.
this is what we
which is not good. It's not good. Like on, okay, so like on this is the deal. Like on, I have no problems. I have zero issues with females being in the lead, like on, because that's just stupid. Because I'm extremely excited about the Black Widow movie because Scarlett Johansson is my favorite actress in Hollywood, and her portrayal of Black Widow is she is one of my favorite Avengers, only alongside Steve Rogers. And I have a wall in front of me from Infinity War of action figures, posters, and magazines that prove it, because her action figure is up there along with Steve Rogers. Like going, it's like literally in front of me every time I make this freaking, a video. So my issue is that like going with Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley, you had a leading lady in the role, like going, and she kicked butt. Did she start out is kind of this like going teenage girl who was, who didn't know how to view the world. She was trying to figure out what's going on, like on, but by the end of the movie, she was the pirate queen. That's great story arc. That's great story arc. Like from here to here, that's great story. That's a good story. So I have no problem with there being a maybe. I just don't know. I think that if you're going to do it, you need to do it right with the original cast. And then if you want to try to like offshoot, introduce a character or a group of characters in the franchise that assist the original characters. And then once Johnny Depp, once Jack Sparrow, Elizabeth Swann, and Will Turner finish their story arc, then you can possibly do an offshoot story arc with the characters that worked alongside them so closely that you build a relationship with. And then maybe Jack Sparrow and them go off and do their own thing. Well, Will and Elizabeth get to live on and be happily ever after. And then maybe if you make another 2-3 movies with a solid group of characters that you built, you can bring Will and Elizabeth in, sporadically, just to see them, just to see how they're doing. Like going, maybe the first movie, like on Johnny Depp makes Captain Jack makes the notion that like on they got married, they had a beautiful wedding, like on, and he has like a photo of it, like on, he's just like looking at this photo of his friends, of all them together at the wedding. Like that would be a great nod. And then the second movie, like on, they go into wherever Will and Elizabeth moved, and like on, he sees them, there's a little shenanigans, and they try to help him with something, but it's minimal. And then maybe the final movie, like going of the offshoot movie, like they're a little more involved, like they help a little more, like going, and it brings back that nostalgia factor. Well, plowing a new road with new characters. You gotta do it right, folks. You can't just, I'm sorry, you can't Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy it, because like I really liked Rey and Finn and The Force Awakens, and then Rian Johnson like really muddied it up until like the end, to where Rey saved them, Rey and Finn hugged, and like it had that beautiful dynamic again. The shenanigans in the middle was like, dude, what? And then The Rise of Skywalker, J.J. Abrams tried to save it all, but then they cut his movie. Like I still want to see the J.J. cut, which is like 3 hours and 12 minutes. And it doesn't end the way that the movie actually ended. And there was no Reylo kiss, because who the heck? I mean, Disney just retconned it and said, well, there was no romantic feelings. That was Rey saying thank you to Ben because they had felt so close, but it wasn't romance. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I get that. That's fine. That makes sense. Like there was no romance between them. Like going, you know what? Don't get me started. We're not gonna do this. Like
we talk about
this video's going on too long as it is.
A year ago, this rumor was circling, right? Female pirate to replace Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Caribbean.
Pirates of the
but
Caribbean.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter that you would have replaced him with a female. There have been many great females in the Pirates franchise. It wouldn't matter who you replace him with. It matters that it isn't Johnny, right? Mm-hmm. You have, when the first Pirates film arrived back in 2003, almost everyone embraced it as a fun fantasy swashbuckler, with Johnny Depp's eccentric turn at Jack Sparrow being a true highlight. As such, It's probably a good call, and the series is being rebooted with Deadpool writers Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese. Reportedly, talks come with a script for a fresh start. That remains to be seen. However, how hard of a reboot is this going to be? But if the new report from HN Entertainment is to be believed, these rumors seem to be that Disney is parting ways with Depp, and they are to be indeed true. According to the outlet, Captain Jack is definitely gone, and his place will be a female pirate named Red, a revamped character in the popular Disneyland attraction, who's also a meet and greet park character.
Hold on.
She's thought to be inspired
There's
by
going to be an ad now. Oh, shut up. Man, with the ads, I swear to Moses, it never happens when I'm on my cell phone, but every single time I decide to do one of these, it just does.
Historic Irish pirate Anne Boney, and already a few casting suggestions have been thrown out. Daisy Ridley, Karen Gillan are both names that have come up with fans. Daisy Ridley, God,
No.
do it,
No.
do it. You know what?
No.
I don't know. Actually, I take that back. No disrespect, Daisy Ridley. I do not like
I agree.
you in the Star Wars franchise, but you don't deserve that.
I agree. I agree halfway. Like on Daisy Ridley's not going to want any of that. Like she's not going to want that. After being in Star Wars and catching crap for the fact that like on a poorly written character, which was not her fault, and I don't think fans blame Daisy Ridley. Rey could have been a better written character. Like on, they deserve better. Rian Johnson muddled it up so bad. I mean, The Force Awakens opened up so much, like on, and then Rian Johnson just went, and just, I mean, I still own the movie on Blu-ray, so don't come charging over here. I still own the movie on Blu-ray, and I still love it because it's Star Wars. But at the same time, there are some huge plot holes, and it's like he even admitted in an interview recently that he didn't care about the lore, he didn't care about Star Wars, like going, he wanted to make a movie how he saw fit. Well, there was a movie before it with the same characters, and you needed to follow that, and he didn't. He just went, "Hey, what's up?" And everybody were like going, "What? Like, what the heck is that?" Like, and I feel like he got some resistance at the end, because all of a sudden at the end of the movie, that's where it kind of came back together, where Rey and Finn got back together, and like going, they were so happy to see each other. Like going, that was the old dynamic we saw from the first movie. We saw Snoke. The lights flashed underneath him, which meant he might not be dead. And then I think that Disney just chopped up the last movie so bad, like on it was almost unrecognizable.
Apologize. Not your fault. Get paid. The studio hasn't commented on it. So again, this site is a pure rumor mill, but it's interesting to see that really nobody's come out to debunk this. It goes on to say Disney certainly upset a lot of fans, though, when publicly leaving him in the wake of his headline-grabbing, situation, which we know now that is all BS. It's interesting. According to our intel, which comes from the same source that told us National Treasure 3 was in development last year, they used this source constantly.
Well, I'm glad, because I'm so glad for National Treasure 3.
Sequel, well before it was officially announced. The recent turn of events in Depp's legal battle and overwhelming support from the public in his favor has some in the Mouse House executives now lobbying for his return behind the scenes. And given that there are the same sources who told us last year the studio was doing a Bambi live-action remake, we've got no reason to doubt them. If he does return, though, Jack Sparrow would play more of a supporting role, similar to how he was used in Curse of the Black Pearl, with the lead still set to be a female pirate. How exactly he'd factor into the story, we don't know yet, but in any case, there have already been petitions launched to get him rehired that have amassed thousands of signatures, and the goal now looks closer to reality. Besides, as one of the most popular movie characters of the century, a lot of people would have little interest in Pirates of the Caribbean flick if it didn't feature Captain Jack Sparrow, and as such, we've got our fingers crossed that he'll be able to return. I certainly hope that Disney does the right thing and brings him back. Look, if you want to pass the torch, again, that's got its own conversation to have, but I'm mostly interested in making things right with Johnny. So hopefully There's some truth to this. It's certainly being reported widely over the internet. Considering the source, I'd give it, you know, about a 30% chance of being true. But hey, if they're doing it, do it. You see, what nonsense are you spreading? Disney will never touch him again. And then again, there's still people that believe a lot of this stuff. But without Depp, there are no pirates, no brainer.
True.
Disney
It's
knows
true.
that. I think I agree with that. Hopefully it happens. Please don't be fooling with our emotions. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
And we'll just, you know, I would agree 100%. Like, on it, just Johnny Depp is the franchise, and on Stranger Tides, it also proved though that Johnny Depp can't support the franchise by himself. Like, he is a huge chunk of that, but you need substance. And Will and Elizabeth brought substance. You need all three of them. Fix it. Fix it. Bring all three of them back. Bring in a supporting cast of new potential characters that after you finish the original 6 movies, you can start doing some offshoots. Like, going, do that. If you don't do that, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to care. And quite frankly, you're going to literally everything up to where it's probably almost beyond repairable, because this is kind of like this is the Star Wars situation. Like, going, you've muddled it up so bad, like, going, there's not a lot of goodwill left. Like, the last Pirates movie brought the goodwill back, and then of course you guys decided to get rid of Johnny Depp over somebody who is a horrid liar. Maybe let the police do their job. Oh, this is a message too. It's called due process. It's called he said this, she said that, then the police figure it out, and then there's a, you know, and then there's a prosecution and a defense, and like, oh, and then there's a trial, like, oh, and it's called due process. Find it. Stop this online cancel culture. It's crap, it's garbage, and quite frankly, if you don't like it, I don't care. I don't care. What's Twitter going to come after me? Ooh, you're going to take away all my 42 followers on YouTube? Like, on, bring it on, dudes. Like, on, it's not worth it, folks. It's not worth it. Like, on, find a new hobby, get engaged in your own life, and stay out of other people's lives. Because if you can't prove it, guess what? It didn't happen. That's the truth. Things that actually happen in life, there are evidence for. That's how you prove it. That's what police do. Let the police do their job. Stop being the online social media mob. Stop trying to be online police officers and lawyers. Live your life. Have a great time. Enjoy the movies you love. Enjoy everything about life, because you know what? Life's a garden. Dig it. Dig it, brother. We'll talk to you guys next time. Y'all be safe. Have fun. I hope you guys have an outstanding week, and we will definitely see you next time for another video. Thank you. Y'all be safe. See ya. Want it that way. Okay, I had to do it. I'm sorry. We'll see ya.